Hello, welcome to our next session of Project Engineering Management. I am your course instructor Moshan Pandya. Today we will be talking about a very specific term in project management that is known as S-curve, project S-curve. Here we say curves means obviously it is some graphical presentation of the data. Data in terms of the project can be available manpower, the targeted output, or say costing, or what is the time consumed for the entire project or the parts of project. So this entire track is to be taken, and graphical monitoring is possible with help of S-curves, where we can come with so many conclusions with the help of S-curve. So S-curve, here you see one graph I shown the progress versus time, that existing technology initially starting with here, that entire way you see there. Existing technology curve, that is initially a very small slope, and then steep slope, and again diminishing, and again new technology comes in the existence. So every time there are three parts we observe. The one is initial part, another is middle steep part, and third one is the diminishing part, that is steady. So why project S-curve here? The question is, so it is actually keeping the track. The project should be completed within the budget and schedule, and it will be helpful to you to maintain a firm control over the project progress and spendings. So we will have clear visibility of how project is progressing with the time and how much being spent. So time and cost is very much important for a project, as I said in the starting of the session. So it is a graphical tool, project management graphical tool, where we are talking about the project cost, hours, progress, and quantities with respect to obviously time. It denotes the tendency of entire accumulation of the work when we plot it. So ideally it will take a shape of English alphabet S in the shallow form, flatter at the start, as I said, steeper in the middle, and flattening off toward the end. This will be the shape of the S-curve. Maybe exactly S-curve may not be seen. Here you see one example, cumulative output I am showing where first stage, second stage, and third stage with respect to time, and how much percentage of work is completed. So as I said, not to worry if it doesn't take the S-curve exactly as. And here you see front loaded, back loaded, and typical S-curve is the green one that should take place, but maybe due to certain budget overrunning, or say time overrunning, or say finishing before time. So this way the final shape will be taken by the S-curve, where on y-axis there will be one quantity, and on x-axis we will be putting our time duration, time span, where in terms of say weeks, or in terms of say months, or in terms of days, or in terms of hours, or in terms of the entire year. Here I am showing you one graph where you see January to December we have plotted out, and some specific behavior you can observe as a term in terms of percentage, like what is the percentage progress. So let us focus on this part, the rounded one. So I magnified. Here you see initially the work is being distributed, or say the duration of say February to March, January, February, March, April. The finishing is only 12%. So it is the initial part and very slow input. Then here what is happening? So at start the project has very few activities. And so it is still picking up. It has not taken up that full-fledged speed, and it will have a very gentle flow. Then the middle part of the project, where activities are in the full swing, a lot of work is going on and it is being done. So it has a very steep slope and indicating the very fast pace of the work. Then the last part, that is the towards the end of project, where almost activities are done and things are being wind up or work slows down. Say obviously work is almost finished, so it is by slowing flattering of not is very steep S-curve. Types: baseline, target, cost versus time, then man hour versus time, and value in percentage as we saw in the previous examples, and actual S-curve. Target S-curve, obviously here we have the timeline cutoff date is given, so man hour or say cost versus time, and it requires the idle progress if like tasks are completed as per the current schedule. And ideally target S-curve will obviously meet the baseline S-curve at the end of project or finishes below and to the left of the baseline S-curve, say early or under budget. And in reality actually in the most of the time it will be exceeding the time and will be over budget, so we'll be finishing above the S-curve, baseline S-curve, and the right of the S-curve. Then another is baseline S-curve, that is what exactly we are talking. So previous one was the target and it was shown by the dotted line. Here the baseline S-curve is given, and it is prepared for the proposed allocation of the resource and timing to finish the task within a set time frame and budget. So obviously it is also showing the planned progress. Then man hour versus time S-curve, as name indicates, where on the y-axis will be man hours, and so it is product of man hours and working time, and it is very much appropriate for the labor intensive projects where so many laborers, human efforts are involved. These projects will tell you, like this project S-curve will tell you like what exactly additional manpower is required, and you will be able to find out the where is low productivity or in which way is low productivity or delays or rework is required or variation is done. Next is cost versus time S-curve, which is very much important with respect to spendings done over a project, because the spendings, cost and cash flow are very much important, because without funding, funds are the blood for any of the project. Without cost, funding, cash flow, you cannot run your project or finish the project. So it will tell you like the over the time whatever spending is spread, what is expansion, and labor, non-labor type of industries can use it, where material supply, hiring and subcontract type of activities is done, and will be useful to do calculations on the project cash flow and what will be the final cost to the complete the project. Whatever is the decided, there will be ideal one, but actually what will be the cost to complete, that will tell this S-curve will tell you. Then here value percentage S-curve, where obviously we will be converting the our data in terms of percentage, and value S-curve is useful to determine the date or expanded up to date to complete, and percentage will again be useful, percentage S-curve, to calculate actual versus the targeted and baseline. So actual S-curve is cutoff date. After that, you will not be you will not see any further progression of the curve, because it is actual one, the start and end. So this entire actual S-curve will tell you what is the production schedule, where it is being updated, and we will actually forming this actual S-curve by updating the the schedule, any revision rework will be included every time, and it is generated this way, like the actual progress of the project up to the date, and you will be able to compare with the baseline in target as curve, like where you are lagging or what are the learning from this actual as curve for the one more repetition of the same project in future. Here, important uses of the S curve, like performance and progress evaluation. Then here you can talk about the baseline for the performance measurement. What are the earned value and what is the actual cost? So variance can be calculated as you see in the typical S curve. Then it is determining the slippage. Slippage is very much important. Slippage, let us see what is slippage. It is actually amount of time that a task is delayed from. Like a task is prepared and say in 5 days to be completed, but it doesn't complete in 5 days and it takes 7 days from the original baseline schedule. So this is for the slippage. And slippage is actually difference between schedule start or finish date for a task and the baseline start or finish of the day. Like the one is actual one to the baseline comparison, that is the slippage. Cash flow forecasting, very much important, blood for any project, and a difference you can see, like say, what is the planned cash flow and what is actual cash flow on the timeline. Here you see the graph for monthly costing. Okay. So obviously project execution idea is here in terms of the timing and movement of the cash, where it to be paid, where to be received, and where are obligations to be taken, like say accepted by the company obligation, or like we have to take on the credit from some other suppliers to finish the project in time. See, in large project, it is not like say every day cash circulation, like we paid today in cash and we took the material. It is not way. It will be say with the advance payment or say some credit payment. So that is to be considered in the cash flow forecasting. Quantity output comparison. So what is actually planned quantity and what is actual quantity difference will be identified with the timeline. Obviously our measurement parameter will be quantity. Then scheduled range of possibilities, like early date and late date. It takes the shape of banana and we will actually identify as banana curve. So quantity with respect to timeline, how early is finished or late is finished, and the first type is, as I said, early dates, and another is the late date, and overlapping both will take you the shape, and it is known as banana curve. Here we finish our S curve topic. Thank you so much. We will see you in the next session of the project engineering management. Thank you.